Hello, beautiful beating hearts and people working hard every day just to put one foot in front of the other. I was thinking earlier today, we all need to give ourselves more love for doing just that, for recognizing that we're having a human experience, for putting one foot in front of the other, and for loving ourselves just a little bit more as we walk on this journey about remembering who we really are. I'm Karen from Four Directions Healing and Wellness, and I help people step into their potential, rise to it, in fact, by helping them release the things that weigh them down. If you're interested in booking a private one-on-one session with me, please feel free to contact me at Four Directions, healingandwellness@gmail.com. Having said all of that stuff, I want to talk to you about this notion of living in a yes universe. I say it regularly, and I mean it. The universe acts to respond to our beliefs, essentially, right? And our beliefs come from a lot of different places. We're not born with them. We're essentially given them. They often come from outside of us, through our parents, other significant people in our life, schools, churches, and what have you. So our beliefs are formed partly as a function of the experiences we've had and the information sources we've been exposed to since we were young enough to comprehend. What that means is, because we're not born with them, they're not technically ours. We seem to unconsciously adopt them. We often say things like, oh, well, that's how I was raised, or that's what I was led to believe. The point is, and this is the magic in my mind, is that you can look at your beliefs at any time, ask yourself if they're serving you, and if they're not, you can change them. And I'd encourage all of you to consider doing that at some point and choosing beliefs that empower you on your journey, that make you feel good about yourself, that inspire you to move outside of your comfort zone. So beliefs have a lot to do with it. But at the end of the day, we don't get what we want. We get what we expect. And what we expect is conveyed through the thoughts that we have and the pictures that we make in our minds, right? Like what we tell ourselves. So if you say, that'll never happen for me, the universe, yes, my love. Oh, I think I'm getting gray hair. Yes, my love. Oh, I think I'm putting on a few pounds. Yes, my love. So the universe just takes it at that. There's no judgment around it, like they don't really mean it. They're just in a weak moment. There's nothing like that. It literally, it's like it's literal. So when I say choose things that empower you, it might be things like, you know, I'm looking really good. I love my body. My body's getting leaner. I absolutely will do this. I intend for it to happen. These are more empowering beliefs than the earlier examples that I used, right? So the words we use, the thoughts we have in our heads, which result in pictures that we have in our head, what we say to ourselves about ourselves, to ourselves about other people, all affects the reality that we live in, right? So in a broader sense, us being part of a larger universe, that's what I mean. Yes, my love. So whatever you say in your head, especially about yourself, basically starts to become your reality, because the universe acts to support your beliefs. As I said, you can look at your beliefs anytime you want and reevaluate them and be honest with yourself about whether or not they're actually working for you. I mean, the biggest part of it is bringing them into consciousness, because as I said, and I've said many times, people sit in a place of autopilot, right? Like, it's like, this is what I'm used to. And so we just go along. We don't actually think about it. We're like, who thinks about that stuff? Well, I think it's useful to bring your attention to it for sure. Um, on a personal universe level, again, that's within your own universe, your body responds to the things that you tell it to do. Your mind responds to the things that you tell it to do. And essentially, the body has certain processes that work in such a way that, depending on what you say, you'll have an actual physiological reaction to it. Let me give you an example. I call it the lemon example. So just close your eyes for a second. Just for a second, not forever, just for now. All right, close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, imagine that you're standing next to your fridge in your kitchen or wherever you happen to have your fridge. Now imagine that you reach inside of your fridge and you take out a lemon. Keep your eyes closed. And you're holding that lemon in your hands and it feels cold. Skin kind of feels waxy. That's right. And you notice the two ends that are kind of pinched usually have a hint of green around them, right? Now I want you to take that lemon and put it up close to your nose, and you can smell the lemon scent. So refreshing. That's right. Now I want you to imagine that you're cutting that lemon open. Oh yeah, now you can really smell it stronger, right? I want you to lift half of that lemon and I want you to imagine that you're putting it in your mouth and biting into it. Oh, yeah. Right? Now, without you actually having a lemon in your hand, you imagine that you had a lemon and your body had a physiological reaction. I can bet you that when I said bite into it, that your salivary glands began to produce saliva. So here's your body having a physiological reaction to something that isn't actually occurring. If it can happen on such a simple level as the lemon, can you imagine what years of negative and fear-based thoughts does to your physiology? Can you imagine? Wow, right? Really powerful example of how your body responds to what you tell it. So you're telling your body you're eating a lemon, but you're not, and it responds accordingly. That's my point. So if that's the case, then feed your body, feed your mind with really positive, empowering thoughts and ideas. Yes, I'm getting older, but I'm getting stronger. Now, there's a level of needing to believe it and trust that what you're saying is true, and that takes some practice, to be honest with you, but it's absolutely doable. So on a personal universe level, your physical body will respond to what you tell it. So will your mind. So if you go around thinking, oh, I hate this, I can't stand doing this, your mind, because it pays attention to what you want it to do, thinks that it needs to protect you because that sounds painful. Oh my God, that's torturous, and so on and so forth. Think about those words. So your mind reacts to it too, and then goes about working on your behalf to distract you in some way from whatever it is you apparently hate. So if there's something you want to do, consider saying, I'm choosing to do this. Not, I said I would do it, now I really don't want to. If that's the case, be true to yourself. That's called being in your resonance. Be in your truth. You know what? I said I was going to do this. I intended to do it, and now I don't feel like doing it. You got to be true to yourself as well. And there are really tactful ways that you can handle that with people. The bottom line is that you have so much power to affect the circumstances of your living, of your daily life, of how your body feels, of how your psyche feels. So much power. And there's an enormous amount of power in visualizing, you know, the images that you form in your head. I remember somebody saying to me quite some time ago, you know, you simply can't get anxious if you don't have a movie going in your head. And that's true. Like, what is anxious? Anxious is some set of thoughts that you have, right? So whatever you say to yourself out loud or in words on a repetitive basis starts to become a belief. So first you make your beliefs and then your beliefs make you. First you make your habits and then your habits make you. So your self-concept, for example, is like a habit. Why is it a habit? Because it's something you've done repetitively. So it becomes second nature. So how do you talk to yourself is something you do in a repetitive way, using repetitive phrases. And so what happens over time is it becomes a habit. So even your self-concept can be changed. You can change any habit. It's just repetitive behavior that you hold as truth over time. Bottom line is, you have so much power. So much power to affect the quality of your life. So much power to determine what you're going to believe. So much power over what you're going to think. So much power over the images that you give in your head, that you create in your mind. You have so much power. If you want to learn how to access that power, hit me up and I'll be happy to work with you. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.